Thanks for joining us on Intruders TV Music. We're sitting down this afternoon with the beautiful and very talented Kyla La Grange. How you doing, Kyla? You alright?
I'm good, thank you.
Fantastic.
Yes,
now, it's been well documented that you studied at Cambridge University, and while I think it's somewhat irrelevant to ask why you chose music, I'm interested to ascertain what influence Cambridge had on your music career.
Well, I think the main thing it did was just give me the sort of confidence to start playing music, because when I got there I didn't know anyone, and I'd never played my own songs that I'd written in public before, and there were so many open mic nights. You know, every little college had its own open mic night, so I thought, you know, what better way to start doing it than to just rock up and play. And so I really just started by doing that, just played these little open mic things. And then another good thing about it is that, you know, once you've done that and you've met a few other people who play music, then you can very easily just start, you know, playing in other bands or getting involved with other things. And it's such a sort of small community, but with lots of nice little opportunities. So the main thing it did was just enable me to start playing and give you the confidence to play. So yeah. And
it was almost like a platform for you to spread your music, because you started writing quite a long time before you went to Cambridge.
Yeah, I mean, I'd always written, never really, I wasn't very good at it. I think when I was young, I just did it because I enjoyed being creative, and it was something that you could do on your own, and you know, you just did it to make yourself, you know, feel like you were doing something. So yeah, I wrote, and especially as a teenager, when you're, you know, in the depths of teenage misery, is one of the best things to do, is just sort of put it into words and music. So yeah, when I got to university, it was just a chance to start giving it more sort of more thought, really, and actually start playing. And I didn't have that many songs, but I wrote more and more, and then by the end, you know, had enough for, like, you know, to do different sets and things like that. So it was really nice.
A proverbial arsenal of music for you to then, I guess, launch your career proper.
Yes, although only one of those songs has survived into the current batch. I think I was very much still sort of learning then, and I think a lot of those ones were still incredibly angsty, not in a good way. So yeah, I think, but one of the oldest songs that we still play is a song called Vampire Smile, and that I wrote in my first year at university. So yeah.
It's interesting that you mentioned the angst of teenage years, and a theme that seems to be present throughout the songs that I've listened to is that deep emotional engagement, if you like. Why is it that you try to write your songs based around, you know, deep feeling and emotion?
I don't think I try to. I think that's just what happens. I mean, I've never, you know, that was just always, songs were always an outlet for those sorts of feelings. So it wasn't, you know, I never sat there and sort of thought, right, I'm going to write this kind of music. That's when I wrote, that's what came out. And I think luckily the angst has hopefully been pared down a bit and is now a little bit more subtle, because yeah, when I first started, it was very much, you know, just me shouting out about how angry I was. But no, I think it's just, you know, that that's why I write, is because I sort of like to channel those feelings and get something out of it. And I think it's sort of that sort of expression.
It's almost like an opportunity to express yourself through music, where you wouldn't perhaps normally, I don't know, sitting around with friends talk about.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and also there's something, I mean, I've always loved, all of my favourite music is sort of, it makes something beautiful out of sadness, and you know, there's that strange thing where you really revel in being sad or in being angry, and you really get something out of that. And I suppose with music, you combine that with playing it to other people, and there's this shared feeling and that sort of empathy. And I think that's this sort of the powerful part of it, is that if you can successfully put across those emotions and make other people feel them, it's sort of like that shared experience that I think is part of what everyone listens to music for.
And there also seems to be themes of perhaps isolation. I read a quote in one of your previous interviews. The question was something along the lines of, where is your favourite place to be? To which you responded, running through Green Park on your own.
Yeah.
Do you, which is interesting, because I guess as a musician you're presenting yourself to, you know, vast crowds of people. Yet, do you feel somewhat isolated when it comes to music?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I only ever write on my own, so I think that's, you know, I need to feel that sort of isolation in order to write. But that's, I mean, what I said previously about, you know, when you play to an audience, there's this shared feeling of emotion. I often, before I thought about that, I would often wonder why do I want to play music to people? You know, why is, if this is something you do to express your feelings, why do you need to play it to other people? And I still think about it sometimes, you know. So there are plenty of songs I write that I never play to my band, or I never play to other people, because they are for me. But then I've often wondered why it is that, you know, there's nothing really about music that should mean you have to perform it. You know, if you do it for self-expression, why don't you just play it on your own and that's enough? But then the more I thought about it, the more I realised that actually, you know, it's just it's an extension of all those feelings and of all that expression, when you can get other people to feel it too. I suppose just in the same sense as you enjoy talking to someone because you think that they understand you and they get something out of talking to you as well. With
that in mind, you also worked with Wolfgang on one of their singles. That must have been a decidedly different experience for you as a songwriter.
Yeah, I didn't write it. It was just I just came and sang with them. So they already had created the song, or Max had already created the song. So they just asked me to come along and sort of do it almost like a duet with Max. And yeah, it was really, really interesting. I hadn't really done that before. So it was quite a challenge, you know, because you have to get into someone else's style of singing, and also, you know, still using your own voice. I'd love to collab. There's a guy called Jacob Golden, who almost no one has heard of, and it's tragedy because he's wonderful, and he wrote this beautiful album called Revenge Songs, which everyone should listen to. And I'd love to collaborate with him, because I think his voice is heartbreaking. It's in the best sort of way. So yeah, I'd really like to collaborate with him.
So you released your debut single, Walk Through Walls, in March on Noir Records, and I understand as well that you have another launch party coming up on the 12th of July at the Lexington.
Yeah.
What are the next steps after that?
Well, after that we're doing the festivals, and we're also finishing recording the album, so it's going to be a combination of live gigs and studio time. So I think, yeah, the focus will be on the festivals, and then I think we're trying to finish the album this year, so hopefully we should be able to put it out next year. Yeah. And
is the album going to feature a lot of the, I think, really listening to a lot of your music, you're the singer, the front woman, if you like, to a backing band. Whereas I also get the feeling you like to write stuff on your own that is really singer-songwriter based. So is the album going to be a mix of those two styles, or is it going to be predominantly you presenting yourself like at the front of the stage with the band? Yeah,
I think the band will always be there, you know, to sort of back up all the songs. But it's interesting you asked that, because the next few songs we're going to record are a lot more stripped down, and are, I suppose, even though there's still the other instrumentation in there, it's very much, like you say, taking a back seat, and the lyrics and the voice are going to be the main thing. So we definitely want to preserve that contrast, like you say, because there are two sides to it, and I think for me it's really important that both those sides should be represented on the album, because there is that sort of, I love that really big, epic, like sort of choral sound, like on Walk Through Walls, but then there are also songs where I just think, you know, the most important thing is just to hear the voice and the lyrics, and that's what we want to work on next. They're the next songs we're doing. So, yeah.
When you set out, when you made the decision, right, that's it, I'm going to be a singer-songwriter, that's all I want to do. Where did you want to take your musical career? Do you want to be the next Taylor Swift, Laura Marling, or do you just want to do your own thing and see where that takes you?
I honestly, I never really thought about it in terms of who I wanted to be or where I wanted to go. I think the main thing I wanted to do was just, if I could, I wanted to just make a living out of playing music and writing music. I think I definitely more, I would say more on the Laura Marling side of things than the Taylor Swift side of things. But
exposing my admittedly limited knowledge of the folk scene right now.
Don't worry. Yeah, I think I've always just wanted to make sure that the music was honest and that it was represented in the way that I wanted it to be, and that it never got sort of taken off in a direction that I wasn't happy with. And I think so far we've done that, and hopefully with completing the album, I'll just be thrilled to have it finished and to play it to people. Really, it'd be wonderful.
Well, Kyla, it's been lovely chatting with you this afternoon.
Likewise.
And best of luck with the album.
Thank you
See
so
you
much.
soon.
Thank you.